Okay, we're live. We did it. We conquered technology, Emmanuel.
Yes, we did.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, everyone. So, as you know, I'm Liz Dawn, and I'm here today with the amazing, the wonderful, the best-selling author of Easy Breezy Prosperity and Easy Breezy Miracles, and a new book that will be coming out soon, shortly, we hope, keeping fingers crossed. It is the wonderful healer, Emmanuel Dagher.
Thank you, my friend. It's so
Yay!
good to be with you. I love you so much.
Oh, right back at you, Emmanuel. It's such a blessing to have you with us today. And we're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff today. So I'm just going to check to make sure that we are live actually in the group. I'm multitasking. We're going to hear a little bit of a background noise just for a second as we get the conversation. Wonderful healer. Okay, good. All right, wonderful. We've got Shauna and Shani and Carmen and Satprem. And everybody's here. The gang's all here. I love it. And we're able to see everybody's comments to the side, so you can certainly make a comment, ask a question. As we're having the conversation today, make certain if any questions come up for you to put them in the comments so Emmanuel and I can see them, and we'll get to questions as well.
Say hi
So,
too. Tell us hello. We love to hear from you.
yes, say hi. All right, so Emmanuel, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so grateful. It's funny, this quarantine thing, I'm working so much more than I've ever worked before, and I love it. Just throwing myself into service, and I can see you doing the same thing.
Yeah, so what have you been up to? What are you discovering during this sacred, interesting time?
Well, you know some of those things. I've really been exploring my love for music, singing again, sort of brushing up on those skills, and specifically um, really checking in with the emotional body because I know a lot of people are feeling super emotional right now. You can have high highs and low lows, and really being in that space of compassion and love. We'll talk about some processes later, but it's been interesting. It's been interesting to see the free floating fear thought forms that are going around in the collective and checking to see, are those yours? Do you need to identify with them? Or are they just kind of the collective energy that wants to be what it wants to be, and you don't have to identify with it? So there's been a lot of reflecting. I'm sure everyone tuning in today is also reflecting. And I just want to thank you, Liz, for being so committed. I know you're doing this each week, and everyone who's tuning in and just kind of aligning with things that are nourishing and helpful, and because there's a lot of division right now. So what are you feeling, Liz? How are you navigating through all of this?
Well, very up and down. I mean, very honestly, there's been moments where, the clarity, it's right there. I'm seeing it, I'm feeling it, I'm getting messages from spirit, I'm getting really, really great messages in meditation, that this is a time of creation, that this is a time to work on those things that we haven't really necessarily had the time to work on. And then there's the other side of it that it's like, holy shit, I'm panicking. I mean, my business is set
Hmm.
up as a live event business. We are
Yep.
structured that way financially, we're structured that way just organizationally, and we're a live event business. And so now, in order to create something new, we're looking at each other going, okay, now how do we move into this new space? How do we move into doing maybe some online, but absolutely wanting to be totally committed to doing live events as well? Because
Hmm.
as you've been to our live events, the online is wonderful for education. The online is wonderful to connect people from all over the world. And there's nothing like being at a live event. There just
Hmm.
isn't.
Yep.
And is that going to look the same next year? So every time I do get into that place, and I do get into that place, I do some of the exercises that you've taught me. I've done some of those breathing exercises that Greg has taught me, that Sunny, that, all the teachers are talking about. And again, Wayne Dyer said this over and over again. It's not what happens, it's how we handle it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's been a moment to moment exercise in breathing,
Hmm.
exercise in actually also moving the energy through my body,
Mm.
making certain I'm exercising. It's getting really hot here. My hiking days are now gone until probably October. So making certain I am moving my body and being extremely conscious about dancing and moving and exercising and jumping on the treadmill or jumping around, doing whatever I do to keep the energy flowing through me instead of it getting stuck in my stomach, which is my area of neuroses, the stomach, right?
Yeah. And one thing that I wanted to sort of ask you is when you are feeling a little bit of that fear come up, do you breathe into it, or do you kind of like what's your experience with that? Because I know people would really love to hear that.
I go into the heart space. I put my hand on my heart. I do some heart coherence breathing. I don't necessarily, for me, I allow myself to feel that for a minute and allow myself to have a voice in that. Because typically, if I'm in anxiety, it's not a present time anxious feeling. It's typically I'm age regressing, or I'm futurizing, or I'm in the past, I'm not in the present. So what I've been doing is bringing myself back into the present.
Yes.
For me, when I go into that place, I know I can go into a hole. Having been a panic disorder survivor, if you will. And so I don't want to go into that hole again. And I did feel myself slipping at one point, and I got very nervous about it. So I increased my self-care. I started taking, I'm being totally transparent.
Yeah, please.
I
Yes.
made sure that I was taking all of my supplements, which include, for me right now, hormones in this age that I'm in. It's, and women who might be going through the same thing can relate when our brain isn't functioning properly, when we don't have those nutrients, the hormones, the right foods, those things, the switch can flip easier to the other way. So it's definitely been an exercise in paying closer attention to all of that.
Well, the light is emanating from you. I mean, you are just it. I know we could feel different later or whatever, but right now you are just emanating light, and I can feel that, and I know everyone's feeling that as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Back at you, my friend, because you are in this like Zen master guru space.
Yeah.
I would like to hear from you what you are sharing with people about this time and staying balanced and, when those emotions come up, how to move through them.
Absolutely. Well, right now, what's happening is there is a collective grieving happening, and many of us who are way showers and have been doing the work for a really long time, sort of have been preparing for something like this. I know, Liz, I'm sure you have sort of known, maybe not specifically what it's going to be, but knowing that something is shifting. There's a new day coming, and so sometimes when that happens, there are a few little things that need to come to the surface to be addressed, to be resolved. We can say little, but I'm kind of washing over it. But really, they're really deeply rooted traumas and imbalances and things that we as a society have been contributing to consciously or unconsciously. So there's a massive grieving happening right now. I know we are kind of probably towards the end of it, because I know for the first few weeks and sort of like just a few weeks ago, people were really, really struggling. I see it all the time. I when I start receiving emails in the hundreds and they're all similar, very, very similar, I really, really have to pay attention, because it tells me something's going on in the collective. So that grieving process, what are we actually grieving? We're grieving the old world, because we need to do that. And it's important for us to give ourselves permission to honor that part of us that needs to feel whatever it needs to feel, because healing itself is actually very much about feeling your feelings. A lot of people who are new to healing may think that it's wishful thinking and it's kind of outside of the box, but ultimately healing is just coming back to yourself. And the way we come back to ourselves is to honor all of ourselves, including the emotions that don't feel so good sometimes. Many of you have heard that, but it's good to remember that. Anyway, so grieving the old world, the old patriarchal system, the patriarchal system that has been very much about greed and suffering and struggling and kind of control. And it's not one person or one group that did that or not. We all collectively agreed on some level to step into this role that we are, so that we could all finish out the karmic patterns from those timelines and start a new timeline that is going to be very much about heart-centered love, compassion, prosperity, ease, flow. And our work, especially Liz, I know that you were a little concerned because you are an events business, but after the dust settles, this kind of work is going to be one of the top in demand, because people are waking up right now. People who you never would have thought have been even into new age or spirituality. People are waking up, and sometimes waking up means that they need to feel their anger. They need to feel their frustration. They need to, whatever it is, that process will eventually bring them back to themselves, which is peace, which is love. That's who our true nature is. And so that's what's happening right now, collectively and personally. So if you are someone who's feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you're being left behind because you have so many things to do, but you don't know where to start, be gentle with yourself. And this is your opportunity to actually feel and honor all that needs to be felt. We'll do a process on that in a little bit, so that we can really move forward and start creating and laying the foundation for the new earth, which is here. It's fully present. We just have to tap into it.
Right. Oh, Emmanuel, there you have it, people. Truth. I was in the first time I went to the grocery store, gone to a local health food store around the corner from us, and I had my mask on, and I could feel myself like starting to cry just for no reason. I was so excited to be in a store, number one, and for some reason I just felt the tears flowing down, and I went to check out, and when it's like right in your throat and you can't stop it. And the poor checker was looking at me, and he's like, I know, I get it. I know, because and you've really put a language to it. This happened to me yesterday when I was in Costco, and everybody's wearing masks. There was just a collective grieving. And when you said that it's the grieving of the patriarchal, it almost feels like the grieving of the patriarchal of people that we felt like we could trust at one point. Government, no matter what side of the government you're on, and I'm not turning this into a political conversation, because no matter what, you believe politically, we have people in power, whether it's whatever party it is, it doesn't matter. We have people that we just don't trust anymore. We just don't have the trust in these people anymore the way I think we used to. Or maybe we were doing it in a blind way. Who knows what it was? But there is no like, hey, these people have our backs. And again, no matter whether it's Democrats or Republicans or independents or whatever your affiliation is, and it's the truth for all of them, for everybody. It's like we just don't feel like they're having our backs. And I'm watching it start, because I follow some controversial people on Instagram and also on Facebook. And I'm watching these people call out the bullshit. Like we're calling out bullshit more than we ever have before.
And that is part of the process. I've been asked that question because we're seeing such polarization, and you're seeing a lot of, I'm sure you're seeing all the conspiracy theory stuff, and you're seeing all of the fear-based stuff, and ultimately that is part of the process. So when I get asked about that, I never say that it's wrong or right. I just allow them to make their own decisions and say, okay, look, if this feels good to you and expansive to you and empowering to you in this moment, honor that. But eventually you're going to outgrow that fear if you're allowing yourself to feel it and be with it, and you're going to come into a much higher vibration, which is your true self. But we're seeing so much of that. And the good thing about it is that there's movement. Movement is so important because, a lot of things that I teach specifically around fear is that fear is actually a blessing because it is a type of movement. And if we just feel it and honor it, it can be our pot of gold to where we want to go. Because if we are feeling something that is kind of pushing us and telling us, and hey, wait, this is not right. This is injustice. This doesn't feel, fair. That is something within you that's saying, hey, there's a balance that needs to happen. So if you need to feel angry and frustrated or afraid about it to get back to that balance, then go for it. As long as you're making sure that you are not hurting yourself or anyone. Make sure that you are being kind and loving with yourself through the process. But ultimately, it's about feeling your feelings so that you can get on the other side of it and they don't hold you back anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so when feelings do come up, when sadness, when fear, when anger does come up, is there a process that you utilize that helps you to move through it?
Yes, absolutely. So this is a process very similar to some other aspects of the core work method, which is the healing, proprietary healing technology that I've created. So this is one component of it. So I would just invite everyone. Do you want to do a process now? Does that sound good?
You guys want to do a process? Should we do it?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
All right. So
I'll do this.
yeah, let's get comfortable. So let's take a deep breath in and place our hand over our heart and just breathing in that life force energy, that love, that oxygen. Just breathe that in. And as you exhale, feel yourself sinking deeply into this chair, the couch, the bed, the floor. Just let yourself completely be supported by that object that is lifting you up, that is carrying you, that is holding you. Let's take another deep breath in. And this time when you breathe out, just gently sigh it out. Feeling yourself relaxing even more into your body, into that object that you're sitting on. And one more. Take a deep breath in and release. So with your eyes closed, you're going to ask yourself the question, how am I feeling right now? And it could be just about what's going on in the world. It could be what happened just half an hour ago, whatever it is. Just ask yourself, how am I feeling right now in this moment? So you may feel good, but you may also feel a little bit of discomfort somewhere in your body. You may feel a little tired. You may feel sad. You may feel happy. Whatever it is, just ask yourself how it is that you are feeling in this moment. Now I want you to think about what's going on in the world. I want you to think about all that has happened in the past 2 months. And I want you to think about that and ask yourself how you feel about that. You may feel nervous. You may feel afraid. You may feel anxious, whatever it is. Allow yourself to just bring that forward. And so our body is an amazing barometer. Literally, it's giving us feedback as to what needs a little extra love and attention from us. So your body, when you think about that feeling that we asked about what's going on in the world, will tell you, hey, I'm feeling a little discomfort in my heart. I'm feeling a little tightness in my stomach. I'm feeling some way in my shoulders and in my jaw. Wherever it is for you, wherever that feeling is being held and stored, Your beautiful body has been so selflessly holding it for you. Just focus your attention on that part of your body. So you don't have to try to fix it. You're not trying to change it. Healing has nothing to do with fixing anything. It has simply to do with you remembering and connecting and honoring the perfection that's always there. So let's just bring our awareness to that part of your body. If your mind wants to drift and wander, thank it. If there's a story behind it, thank the mind and just gently bring it back to just focusing on that discomfort that you're feeling or whatever that feeling is in that part of your body. Just feel it. So for me, when I think of what's going on in the world, I usually feel it in my stomach. I feel kind of like these butterfly, kind of like anxious tightening of my stomach, my solar plex. So that's where I'm focusing. It may be different for you. So just feel into where that is. And again, if the mind wants to create a story, wants to go around different things and move in different direction, just gently bring it back to that part of your body, focusing on it and just observing. Just observe. Now let's take a deep breath in and breathe in as if you are breathing through that part of your body. So I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to breathe through my diaphragm, my stomach. For you, if you're feeling it in your jaw, imagine that part of your body as you breathe in is receiving the breath. And as you exhale, feel yourself focusing a little more deeply on that part of your body. Let's take another deep breath in and release. And so what you'll notice, so this may take a few minutes, this may take a few seconds, it may take longer. But what will happen is when you are able simply to just feel and honor what needs to be felt through your body, because your body is literally saying, hey, please focus on feeling me and honoring me so that we can get the feedback we need, which is ultimately your body saying, I need your love, I need your attention. So this is you loving yourself. This is the first step to loving yourself, by feeling what needs to be felt. So from this space, you'll notice, even if it's a very slight shift, you'll start noticing a softening. You'll lighter, you'll feel more space in that part of your body that was holding on to whatever was needing to be honored and felt. So just feel it. And just acknowledge if there's any lightness, just acknowledge it. And if there's not, just continue focusing on that discomfort until the softening happens, the lightness. And now from this space, let's send your body gratitude. Give yourself a big hug. Just thank you, body. Thank you for giving us this feedback, for us to pay attention, for us to love ourselves. Thank you. Instead of judging myself and being hard on myself and trying to push my feelings down, which is what we've all been taught to do in society, now I am doing something different. And I'm so grateful for this beautiful body that is giving so selflessly in this way. It's literally the surrogate to tell you, hey, you need attention. So let's just give yourself that big hug and feel that gratitude. And you may notice even more of a softening and a lightness, because when your body feels acknowledged, when your emotions feel acknowledged, that's it. That's what they needed from you. So they no longer have a hold over you anymore. Take a deep breath in and release. And so let's express deep gratitude to our mind for being so open and willing. We know the mind sometimes doesn't like change and creates, stories and ideas and things that may prevent it from changing. But this time, even though it may have done that a few times, it was open. and it was willing. And so let's send so much love to the mind. I like to see my mind as like a 2 or 3-year-old child version of myself, and just sending him, her so much love and gratitude. And now just taking a deep breath in, gently opening your eyes, getting back into your body, just wiggling your fingers and toes, just getting back into the now and just being aware. And ask yourself, in this moment, how do I feel? Do I feel the same? Do I feel different? Do I feel lighter? Even if it's an ounce lighter, you have facilitated, you've already activated the healing for yourself. So the key for the rest of the day is for you to be gentle. Just be kind, be gentle with yourself. Do some things that feel good to you. Walk, stretch, meditate, listen to some music. Barbara Streisand, we were talking about that earlier. And keep checking in. How do I feel? How do I feel? So how do you feel, Liz, right now? What's going on for you?
Wow. Well, I started out having a tremendous amount of tightness in my throat, sadness, tremendous amount of tightness. And I was feeling it continuously. And then when you said appreciation is when an acknowledgement, and it just sort of melted. Like acknowledging and appreciating. I just want to say, okay, thank you so much for feeling that sadness. Thank you. And it was right here. It's right in my throat. Like my throat was locked up. Wow. And I'd love to know how everybody else is feeling. What experiences did each of you have during this process? And where do you feel, where did you feel that tension, and how did you feel that it moved through your body and you allowed your emotions to move through you rather than having a hold on you? That's what I think is so beautiful about your work, about your core method.
Oh, thank you.
It allows to move through it. Please go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, one thing that is super important to me is to make very metaphysical, very kind of like sometimes hard concepts very easy. I feel the most simple things are the most spiritual. And so when we allow ourselves to come back to that simplicity, so healing doesn't have to be, it can be, and it has been. I was able to heal my scoliosis. I was able to heal my skin situation. I was able to heal my stuttering, all these things that my fear of being on stage, right? You would never think, right? But I just had this immense, like almost irrational fear. So and I've witnessed this healing with so many people. It doesn't have to be so out there. It's always within you. And when you realize how simple healing can really be, you just understand that it's about incorporating some of these methods and techniques into your already day-to-day routine, so that the mind doesn't feel like, "Ooh, I have to change all my habits," but it actually now says, "Ooh, I'm welcoming new habits, and I can still keep my own and bridge them together, and I can live in a world of and," which is what the new earth is about, instead of the world of or. The world of or is very this or that, separate. And is all of it.
And if it encompasses infinite possibilities, and of all the infinite choices that we have in the universe, let's choose one that serves us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yay. I'm seeing some comments come in.
Tension in my solar plexus, feel better now, feel peaceful, so refreshing. My body is responding so much lighter. Okay, and I'm going to jump on the page and share me too. Kelly says, okay. So actually, I don't know if you can go on the page as well, Emmanuel, if you open something in your actual another tab. There seems to be a lot more comments coming through the actual page.
Okay.
Charlotte, thank you, Charlotte. She said, thank you so much. So much lighter. All tension is gone. Jean says, thank you. Shauna, wowza. Judith, so refreshing. My body is responding. Amy, she feels peaceful. Carmen, tension in her solar plexus. Leslie, love that simple can be healed. Love that simple can be healing. Yes, yes, yes. Kelly, Elias, I feel tension in my chest, got a little teary, then feeling the tightness get lighter and now feeling much better. And Jean, I love this. I am feeling more forgiving with myself after hearing this. Have been feeling so much anger. rising for a while these weeks. I prefer to be an uplifter, and this has been hard to interpret. Me angry? Where is this coming from? Well, this exercise has certainly assisted you in releasing that and moving through this. Oh, and Shani, everybody's posting. Wonderful. Oh, everyone, thank you. Thank you so much for participating. And any just more wise wisdom words from you. Anything else that you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, one thing that I wanted to just share with the beautiful community that you've created is that you are the healer. So you are the healer. If I or Liz are just mirrors of you here, reminding you of what you already know, then that's great. So you are the healer. So everything that I just shared with you, you already knew. And the fact that you're feeling lighter, you're feeling better, that's because you already knew that. You already knew that that was there and available for you. And if you didn't, if you felt some resistance, that's okay. You can just keep honoring that and feeling that until that lightness comes in. There's no one way is better than the other. So I would just say that you are the healer. And if you're even just into this kind of work at all, you've always been a healer.
Wow. I want to share something with you, Emmanuel. Janet, our friend Janet in the UK, she said that she's been feeling fine up until now. She's on her own, but today I'm feeling sad and upset because in the UK, it's supposed to be a day of celebration, victory in Europe. Instead of having street parties, people are sitting in their front gardens, social distancing, which some of my neighbors are doing right now, but they have all congregated next door, but I wasn't invited, which I don't understand. I'm sad I can't be with my family. I felt it in my throat and felt teary when sending love to my little child. Do we have any extra love and support that we can send to Janet right now? Because that does feel crazy when people are gathering and you're not. Yeah.
Well, Janet, first of all, we're going to do a little work on that, but I want to say thank you for the fact that that happened, because you were here with us today and we got to move through a process and we got to collaborate and we got to play in this way where we are soul family. We are your soul family, Janet. And there are no coincidences and there are no accidents. So let's just, think about that. And even if that thought makes you feel better, or if it doesn't, check in with yourself. The other thing is, whenever we feel left out, or whenever we feel like we're being left behind, what I do is I use that as feedback to let me know, oh, my inner child wants more love from me and more affection from me, because ultimately you are what you are looking for. It's not them, although, that's the story, that's the part of it. But ultimately, when you gather with people that love you and that see you and honor you, it's a reflection of how you are showing up for yourself. So rather than make it about them, which feels very disempowering, because we give our power away, use this as an opportunity. Oh, how can I show up more for my inner child? Be there more for my inner child. Love myself more. Can I put on a pretty outfit and just start dancing and put some music and twirl around and just be myself? Can I watch some movies that make me laugh and just spend some quality time with myself? Can I make myself an amazing meal that is going to, not something that I usually make, a little more fancy? So this is a call, really. Our emotions are this extraordinary feedback system that are always, Greg talks about it, Dr. Joe talk about it all the time. It's this releases chemicals. These emotions are these systems that release chemicals to tell us, oh, are we in alignment or are we not? Are we expansive? Are we connected or are we not? And it's all just feedback. There's no right or wrong. So if for some reason your emotions were feeling a certain type of way that wasn't making you feel good, you, Janet, have the power within you to give yourself what you wanted from them. And then from that space, watch how your world starts shifting and you start bringing into your life the kind of people that are going to match how you're showing up for yourself. So hopefully that helped you.
Wow. And this completely touched on one of my biggest like pet peeves and annoyances and issues for myself. Janet, thank you so much for bringing that up, because I get so deeply triggered when I am left out.
Mm.
I mean, and if Janice is listening, which I'm sure Janice is listening from my office, our event coordinator knows this about me. I can't stand it when I'm left out, and I get feeling so shitty inside, and how come I wasn't left out, and they don't love me, and why wasn't I included? And I mean, it goes on with my own family, with my, people in my life. And I love what you just shared, because that was tremendously healing for me. Let me see if Janet posted anything, but that is perfect. That I'm the one that I'm looking for, that I am the one that needs to be there for myself. Thank you for talking. Oh, Janet, love you.
I wanted to say real quick that also when we do show up for ourselves, a lot of the tunnel vision that we have when we do, let's say, so for someone who feels left out and that's what they're focusing on, when we show up for ourselves in that really full, nourishing way, our tunnel vision expands, and then we can see, oh my gosh, what if there were other parts and components that had nothing to do with me whatsoever that I took personally without even realizing it. So that really starts to fade away, that tunnel vision, and really opens you up to, I call it panoramic vision. It's a very aerial view instead of a very singular view.
I love that. Oh.
What's Janet saying?
Janet is saying, okay, hold on a second. Let me go back here so I can see everybody's names.
I'm so grateful for you.
Oh, I'm such a dork. I'm crying. She said, thank you for talking directly to me. Yes, it really helps. Amy says, yes, love this. Thank you. Thank you both so much. Thank you for giving. Satprem says, thank you for giving your definition of healing. This is a second sharing from someone about what healing is that I've been gifted with today. Apparently a message for me today. Janice, thank you. And Maria says, Janet is bringing us such a gift. What a great way to help us all on this. Absolutely. Janice says to you, Janice, we've got Janice and Janet, but you want to hear something funny. Janice, you know Janice in our office, right?
Yep. Hey, Janice.
Janice,
love you, my friend,
has a twin sister named Janet.
I did not know that.
Think about how confusing that must have been. Anyway, Janice is sending her love and telling you how much she loves you. And everybody's sending love to Janet in the UK as well.
Yes.
Oh, you have all brought, Emmanuel, you are such a gift to this world and a gift to my life. And I'm just so grateful every time you say yes, yes to us. So thank you.
I am so grateful. And I just wanted to, I know sometimes you don't realize it, but the work that you've been doing for decades and just that you will continue to do is helping so many. And I know sometimes we just keep going and we don't realize it, but from my heart and from the community, the heart of your community, thank you. And we love you.
Oh, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Oh, all right, everybody, we're going to be back. I'm popping into the group at all times, and I'm so grateful for all of you participating and for all of you who have opened your hearts, just cracked them wide open and been a part of our community. So thank you so much. Okay, and we will see you soon. Mwah! And when you need it, watch this video again. When stuff comes up for you, keep watching this video. All right, we'll see you soon.